best exercise for strength and weight loss. So when people say to me, I'm doing bicep curls and I'm doing my triceps extensions and I'm doing cardio, but I can't seem to lose weight. So those exercises, oh, there's my kitty. Are not the best for gaining strength or losing a ton of weight. Now, cardio is great. Now, when you're doing cardio exercises, you're burning calories while you are exercising, but that's it. So you're not burning calories later, unlike strength, where you burn calories during the workout and you burn calories later while your body is repairing the damage that you've done, which is good because that's how we get stronger. So bicep curls will make the biceps pump, but those are small muscles. So we want to work large muscle groups to burn more calories. And certain large muscle groups, well, I should say all of them, work other muscles also. So I'm going to show those exercises to you today as well. So I'm going to have the water. And if you have any questions, write them in the notes or the live stream. And then I'll see if I can answer those questions for you. So go ahead and start writing those questions down. And one tip, water is great for weight loss because it's gonna fill you up and hydrate you, and so you'll be less likely to binge and eat more, because the body sometimes gets very confused between being thirsty and being hungry. A lot of times I think, oh my gosh, I'm starving, I feel like I'm gonna die. But I'm like, wait, and then I drink water and I'm not hungry anymore because I was actually thirsty. So it's very, very common. And we should be drinking our weight in water. So if you weigh 150 pounds, you should drink about 150 ounces of water a day. And that sounds like, oh my gosh, so much. But if you drink water continually all day long, it won't be so hard. It's just be like Linus, who carries his little blanket, bring your water with you. So I'm going to show you some exercises that burn more calories and will make you look more toned for the women, and for men, it'll give you the more muscular. So, and also don't worry about getting big. The only way you're gonna get really big is if you eat a lot of calories. So some of them gonna start with the lunges. So actually, let's start with squats. So I'm going to show you, there's many different types of squats. So very common, you'll see squats, like this. Wider feet is easier for a lot of people who have problems with this. So what I see people a lot of the time, they'll do their squats and they're bringing their torso forward. It's like this. So from the front, it looks like they're going low, but all they're doing is leaning forward. You want to get this butt about to here, down, 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 okay? If you can't go low without, it's called a butt wink. It's where the tailbone tucks under, kind of like that, then you've gone too low. So only go as low as comfortable. So if this is your comfort zone, that's fine. You can still get strength without going very low. So that's just one, this is just a couple of types of squats. So you can do side to side, which are fun. I like these. And you'll notice I'm putting my hands in front. So when I do this, it's a counterbalance. So a lot of times people will be afraid that they're gonna fall over. So if you have your hands in front of you, then I'm not gonna fall back because I am also leaning forward and my hands are reaching forward. So there's all sorts of different squats. I like these kickstand squats, single leg. So what I do is I lift one heel You see, my heel is lifted, and then I'm going down, and most of the weight is on the other foot. So it's here, and then I'm working more on this leg, and then alternate. So what you want to do is 10 to 15 reps. So rep is 1, 2, 3. Let's say I do 10 on this side, and then I'll do 10 on the other side. So that's 10 reps, and that's 1 set because I'm working each leg. So if you are a beginner, 1 set of 1 exercise is sufficient. If you're intermediate, 2 sets, and if you're advanced, 3 sets. You can do more if you want, but if you tend to do more than 4, it's just, you're just burning yourself out. So that's not always, you don't want to go to failure all the time and burn yourself out, it's too much. So I want to show you all sorts of different squats. We've got plie squats, and so plie, probably seen these. So plie squat, so I'm not leaning forward, I'm more upright. So plie is like this, and a regular squat is like this. If squats are difficult, you can get a TRX, and these are great. There's so many things you can do with a TRX. So a TRX squat, you can just go down and you can use these handles. People like this because sometimes are afraid of falling backwards. They like that they can hold on. And when I was working at the gym, I always grabbed the TRX for my seniors, and they liked using this, the TRX. You can do squats with an exercise ball, and this is there's different names for this, Swiss ball. So here, if squats are difficult for you, grab one of these balls, put it against the wall. This is a very narrow wall. And you can go from here down. Just go down your squat and up. You go as low as you can with control, pushing into the ball. Okay, so that's another type. You can also do what's called a wall sit. So it's like I'm sitting in a chair and I'm leaning against the wall. So don't do this, hands here, and I like my hands externally rotated so that my shoulders are not rotating inward. And you can even grab the band, which some people call a booty band, these little round bands. And I like the elastic ones, but these are fabric, I mean. The little latex ones aren't very good, they roll down, they don't last, they break. So this is nice, so you can do a wall sit with this to make it harder. And then you just bring your legs out and in. So that is much more challenging. And these bands are good for the hips. So don't forget, don't just exercise the body parts that you like or the parts that are easiest for you. You want to exercise every single muscle in your body, because if you don't, you're going to get imbalances, and imbalances typically lead to injury, and it's definitely not good. So we want to work let me show you a skater squat and a box squat. Oh, and a pistol squat. Yeah. All right, so pistol squat. Now you can do this without, if you're advanced, a TRX. So a pistol squat looks like this. So this is an advanced move. It requires a lot of strength, a lot of flexibility as well. All right, so this is what this looks like. I'm in the center of my TRX, and this is probably need to make this lower, but anyways, from here, yeah, I need to lower this. What's great about this TRX, you can change the length of these. All right, from here, and up. So this is a pistol squat. But these are hard, so maybe 10 of these. And balance. And of course, it's normal to be stronger on one side. And the goal is to use the strength of your legs. A lot of people use their arms, which is fine, but you want most of the strength to come from the legs in leg exercises. And, oh, box squat. Okay, so on a box squat, you can use a bench. I'm going to use this Reebok stuff. And what I like about this is, I don't know if you can find these anymore. All these different risers, so you make it as high or as low as you want. So a box squat or chair squat, some people call them. And you can do this on a chair. You just get your calves close to the box, so you don't miss the chair. Again, use these arms as your counterbalance. Go down slow, make sure the knees don't go in, no knocked knees, okay? And then you just have a seat, and then stand up, down, and up. We'll show you from the side, getting close. And make sure your feet are not, one foot's not this way and one foot is straight. So make sure they're either both parallel, pointed forward or a little out. So here from the side, up and down. So this is squats are great exercises to burn a lot of calories that everyone can do. So you can choose the squats that you like, since there's so many variations. I only touched on some of them. So I published a book. I've actually published many books, but one of them I'm gonna grab here. Okay, this is a weightlifting record book that I published, which is available on my website, thehigh5diet.com. And what this is a whole bunch of exercises. I bought these tabs, like CVS or Rite Aid, and it has a whole bunch of exercises. You can see full body, lower body, and it says all these, you can see them, I've got here, down here. So these are all exercises that you can pick your favorites. So there's so many to choose from. I've got sample workouts, and you can write down your workouts and to see how you are progressing. And so it's a very good motivational tool, and you can carry this around. That's what I like. All right, so let's say you don't like squats. That's fine. There's other exercises that you can do. So if you have back issues, squats may not be a good exercise for you, although the wall sit's usually okay. You can also do a whole bunch of lunges. So first I'm gonna start with, this is not a lunge, but anyway, I'm gonna show you a step up. And you can make this as high or as low. I would suggest starting lower, lowering the riser, but just showing you what a step up is. You just step and then go up. And this is pretty high, so this is what I use, but I'm gonna lower it to give you an example. And again, you wanna make sure this knee never rotates inward. It's okay if it's a little externally rotated, so internal, external. The knee is straight, we wanna protect this joint. It gets aggravated and upset very easily. So then again, hands here, and you push off with the back leg using this quad, this strong muscle, and your arms all at once to bring you up and down, up and down. You can do this all different ways. You can do side stuff, which is kind of fun. I like this one, it's a little challenging. Here you can change the arm movement. You can add weight. So start with no weight and then add weight later when it's easy. And I think what a lot of people don't realize is, oh, exercise is too hard for me. Well, if you are strengthening, it's hard for everyone. It's supposed to be hard. We are making our muscles work harder to gain more strength and to get stronger and bigger. And if your muscles are bigger, actually, you're burning more calories and your legs will look better. So don't worry about them being huge and sticking out. And you know, ladies, men like curves, so. Let's go talk about lunges. Let's not talk about it, let me show you how to do that. So there's many different lunges. So one of my favorites is reverse. So just going backwards. So always focus, like you're driving in a car. If you look to that way, you're gonna veer to the right. So if you're gonna go straight back or straight forward, look in the direction you wanna go. So if I wanna go backwards in a reverse lunge, I'm gonna look forward, I'm gonna focus, I'm gonna use my core to help me balance, and then I'm gonna lower for a reverse lunge. So this is single leg reverse lunge. So you can just burn out one side at a time, or you can alternate one then the other. And I see people kind of falling into that back leg. So when you're doing a reverse lunge, most of the weight is on that front leg. All right. Now, to make it easier, use a TRX. From here. And I like reverse lunges for beginners better than forward lunges because they're easier to do and they're better for the knees. So from here, so holding on, and you don't need to touch, but you should try to go low and as low as you can comfortably without pain. So what happens, a lot of people, they stop here, okay? And they don't bring the knee down. So you're missing out on glute strength. The glutes is the butt. So a butt is the butt is a very strong muscle and it helps you get up and propel you forward. So don't forget to use your glutes and really work them. So that's the reverse lunge. Now another one that's really I like is an elevated reverse lunge. So with that sitting next. So that one, oh, there's room in here. So that one I elevate. So it looks like this. So I'm not letting this toe touch the ground. And I go back up. So that's what that one is. A lateral lunge, I kind of like that one. Lateral lunges, so lateral is this way or this way. Actually right now, I'm working my hips. So if you can stand up and do some of these exercises with me, please do so. Okay, so lateral lunge, we have a couple different options. We can go from here and then back up, or you can go here and then stand. This one's easier. And you will feel the stretch from the inner thigh. So when you're doing these, the hips are going back and the torso is leaning forward. I'll show you from the side. So it looks like this. So everyone has different lengths of their torsos. I have a very short torso, so I'm not going to be as upright. So I'm going to lean more forward than a lot of people. So taller people typically have longer torsos. Since I'm so short, I am just 5 feet tall, a very short torso. So I have to lean forward more, but my hips are going back. All right, there's a bunch of different types of lateral lunge or different lunges. So we've got the reverse. Oh, let me show you some forward lunges. Okay, so we want to work at all different planes. Front, side, diagonally. So for front, forward. Sometimes we call these usually walk. Some people call them walking lunges. If we just continually walk forward with the lunge, this. And then some people will prefer a more wider stance. So sometimes those are referred to as monster walks. So the foot goes out wider. I'm kind of like going from side to side. I'll show you what that looks like from this direction as well. So from here, and then you'll see I have to pick up this foot and pivot, otherwise my knee won't be in the right direction. So from here, here. So your knees should be in the direction that your foot is moving in. So if the foot is this way, the knee goes this way. Foot is this way, you got it, okay. And let's do the curtsy lunge. So from here, I'm just gonna put my hands on my hips to help me balance. And curtsy is here. So you can do the same side, or you can alternate. These are tough, these are advanced. It's a lot of core strength. And take your time. A lot of people, they rush these exercises. They're like speedy. If you're watching videos of people doing this, they usually have it sped up to make it more entertaining. But in real life, when we're exercising, doing strength, it's much slower, it's more controlled, there's more mind-body connection involved in strength. Okay? All right, so I want to show you some other exercises. So we talked about two excellent exercises for the lower body, squats and lunges. And I wanted to show you some exercises for the lats. So the lat, latissimus dorsi, large muscles in the back. And so excellent exercises for that are rows. So we can use the TRX for rows. So there's different variations, and the higher you are, the easier it is. So from here, I should make this a little bit. And from here, so it's a row. Usually my clients do 15 repetitions of this. If you're stronger, you go lower. Okay, go lower. You can go really low. Let me see if I can get this to the ground or lower. I'm going to do an inverted row. Sticking. There we go. All right, shoot what that looks like. So I'm going to go to a tabletop and then just row this way. So that takes a lot of strength. So much easier than pull-ups and dumbbells. Dumbbell rows. I'm just gonna grab this 25-pound dumbbell. Don't want to start with this. But I've been weightlifting for over 10 years, so this is fine. So here, from here, roll shoulder back, and I'm gonna bring it to my hip. A lot of people bring it to over here. So bring it to the hip, and you're looking down with the chin slightly up. Okay? And then you don't quit when it's hard, but you do stop if your form is, let's use the word wonky, just not so great. Okay? So rows are excellent exercises. You can use cable rows if you go to the gym, you have a cable machine. Seated cable rows are great. Oh, bent over rows. So let me show you what that is. So let me get some, let's grab these 25s. Bent over rows. So you hinge forward. I like to do a little kickstand. Shake my back, and then you just lift. Okay? So those are bent over rows, which strengthens the low back. And when you're doing any exercise that is bent over, you want to engage those abdominal muscles. So pretend somebody is gonna punch you, okay? Okay? And then that little punching, you can just hit your tummy. That's how you want your stomach to be anytime you're bent over. Otherwise, you're gonna have an excessive curve, and it's gonna be possibly problematic for your back. And back pain is awful. Yeah, yes, and it just ruined your day. Okay, so I also want to talk about chest. A lot of women do not work chest. It's probably one of the weakest muscles, I would say actually triceps. A very weak muscle group. Women just don't typically work chest. But what I noticed is you'll see on women who don't work chest is their chest muscles are kind of sunken in, kind of concave. So even if you have implants, you can still do chest. You don't need to do really heavy weight. But one of the best overall full body exercises are push-ups. So I'm going to show you different variations of push-ups, and I guarantee one of these you're going to be able to do. So the typical push-up we've seen is you go into a plank, make sure your fingers are wide, and your hands are not internally rotated, you're either straight or externally rotated. And what I see a lot of the time is women will bring their arms out, okay? Just completely out to the side. That is not normal, okay? You want to use in the normal path of your body. So when your arms go down into a J shape, okay, this is normal. So all I want you to do is if you can stand with me and just press your arms straight and then bring it back in. And let's see, oh, that's normal, yeah. So your arms go down and back to shoulder height. And so your body's gonna move a little bit, okay? So when you go into your plank, feet in line, okay? And a lot of women, they do this, which is hard on the shoulders. So you want to be over the wrists. Okay, this is your start of your plank, and your glutes are squeezed. So you squeeze the butt, and you're looking right here. A lot of people look down. Okay, that's good form. And down, you go all the way and up. Down and exhale up. So this is a normal push-up. Okay, if that is too difficult, go on your knees. But the knees, this is a joint. We don't want to hurt our joints. So when you do the push-up, don't have your knees straight on the ground. Don't put pressure on it. You want to put pressure right above the knees. So I'll show you what to do on that. I call it make it a cute look at me pose. So from here, cross the ankles, squeeze that booty, and then you go down and up. Okay? And this works not just the chest muscles, but the triceps. So the women don't like that little sag. So instead you get the strong muscle here. So push-ups are awesome. So if you can't go as low, or these push-ups on your knees are too difficult for you, then I want you to extend the legs, point the toes, and keep the pelvis on the ground, and just go to maybe cobra, okay? Cobra push-ups. If that's easy, you just lift up like this, and then eventually cross, okay? And then eventually you can go to a typical push-up. And there's different types of push-ups. You can do diamond push-ups, where you put your hands here, and these really target the tricep muscles. And these are advanced, these are really hard. You can go side to side with the push-ups. So down, and then walk, step, step, feet together. Takes a little bit of coordination. And so there's lots of options. You can do a reach. So, and let's say, you can even do push-ups in bed. I have a video that's called Exercises in Bed. So I have a whole bunch of those for people who are bedridden, or maybe they just wanted to exercise that day and don't feel good. So you can check out that video. If you can't find it, let me know. I'll attach the link. So let's say, for for whatever reason, push-ups are not in the cards for you right now, then what you want to work on is dumbbell presses, chest press. So you can do this on a bench or on a mat. So I like to go a bit bridge, put my shoulders in a proper position, and then I just press right above the chest. Okay, you can do single arm, and you just hold one up, do your 15 reps, then you can do the other, you can do chest flies. Okay, you want to get your triceps to tap the ground, and I like to do these chest flies on the floor. They call floor chest flies. So the reason why is you can really overextend those arms. You can tear the bicep and you can tear the shoulder. So that's actually how I injured my shoulder. I was on my bench and I was working on flies with 25-pound dumbbells, and I thought, okay, this is too easy. So I extended my arms straighter. They should be bent a little bit too straight, and my arm bent backwards. One arm stayed here, the other arm bent backwards. The dumbbell hit the ground and it stayed there. And I looked down and I thought, that's not good. So it took a year and a half for that shoulder to repair, and I ended up with adhesive capsulitis, torn bicep, torn ligaments, extremely painful. So I'm never doing flies on the bench again. It's going to be on the floor. So, and you can also do chest press with a TRX. And there's different prices. I recommend getting the actual TRX because the others are knockoffs and they're not as good and they kind of frame fall apart. So this one, I used to teach a TRX class. So feet wide, and just go, make it easy first, and then you can lower, go backwards again. The lower you go, the harder it is. I can go lower, and I can change the length. Now, when you're working with the TRX, there's this buckle. Something like yank it, and we're breaking our TRXs at the gym. Take the buckle, and you just take your thumb, bring it down, and pull. So if it's not broken, it should work. Okay. So I can get this lower. As low as it's gonna go. So let me see. Let me get this thing here so I can show you how you can go lower. So here's an example. So you can make it really as hard or as easy as you want with the TRX. Now, if you can also do push-ups, so we're talking about chest exercises that incorporate the triceps. You can do push-ups and counters to make it easier. So a lot of my seniors, this is what I have them do. I just have them do push-ups on the counter or the wall or their desk so that everybody can do all these exercises with modifications. Okay, so let's see. I think I've got one more large muscle group I want to talk about. Okay, hamstrings. Okay, hamstrings, 3 large muscles in the back of the leg. Now, a lot of people neglect their posterior muscles. So posterior is the back. So we call that the posterior chain. So all the muscles in the back. So the back of the body, a lot of people are much weaker. So hamstring exercises, we've heard of deadlift, right? So there's the single leg deadlift. You can do a kickstand where I lift the heel and I just go forward and then go back up, and I'm using these muscles here to bring myself back up. And I'm searching for that stretch. So you don't want to overdo it. You don't want to tear the hamstrings. That's pretty painful. I did that before and ended up with egg crutches. You can do double leg. Like this is just a slight bend in the knee. And when you have weights in your hand, I see this mistake a lot. I'm going to show you light weights, just so you don't hurt my back. So I see people doing their deadlifts. They'll either do it this way, which is fine, or you can do it wide. That's fine too. Oh, you could do it this way, okay? They will bring their weights really far away from your body. So the further away your weights are when you're leaning over, the more stress you're putting on your low back, and that's definitely not what you want. And deadlifts are notorious for causing severe back pain and injury with people. So when you're doing your deadlifts, make sure your dumbbells and your hands are very close to your body. So I like to actually take my knuckles and my thumb and just graze that down my leggings. And then as I go down, I look down, and as I stand up, I look straight ahead. Okay, couple of tips there. And then also what I see is when people are doing their deadlifts, they'll round. They really want to get to the ground, okay? So you don't want the upper back rounded, you want it retracted, okay? So you're working, that's how you're working lots of different muscle groups. So I'm going to show you the single leg deadlift. So the single leg can do you hold on, you do it this way, you hold on, and go down and up again, right? Make sure the standing leg is bent, a little bit bent. A lot of people have such weak quadricep muscles, 4 muscles on the front of the thigh, or it's called the thigh, that they can't keep that leg bent. So they have it straight, and that's not good. So make sure the knee's a little bent. And what also I see people do is their hamstrings are so weak that their hip is trying to help out. So their hips rotate and turn. So instead of the deadlift looking like this, it goes like this to the side. So you want this knee pointed down. Okay, so that's that. Once you get comfortable with your deadlifts, you can use your core. And I think I'm gonna hit the wall. Yep. Here. And this is working ankle, hamstring, core, upper backs and retracted. So you've got lots of different options with that. And what I also like is you can do walkouts, hamstring walkouts. So I lift my hips up, my hands are on the mat, palms down, I'm looking up at my ceiling, and I'm gonna stand at a high bridge and I'm gonna walk. Some people like flat feet, I like my toes up, and you walk it out as straight as you can, and then you walk it back. And yes, I do make things look easy, because I've been doing it a long time. But this is challenging, and so some people can't go as straight as me. So maybe on their walkouts, they may be here, and then go back. If this is too challenging, go up, walk it out, walk it back, down, and repeat. Okay? And then another one, which I really like, is a hamstring curl with a Swiss ball. So I go into a bridge, my knees are at 90, my toes are up in the air, my hands are out to the side. I'm gonna push into my heels, into the ball. I'm gonna extend my legs and bring it back. So you can do these Swiss ball hamstring curls, and again, if this is too much, down, up, extend, down, up, extend. So my senior clients don't like to get up down on the ground, and they just will refuse. Some will do hamstring exercises that are standing, and one of them that a lot of seniors like are butt kicks, okay? But they're so, as people get older, their feet, they start to bring their legs in more, but you want your feet wider, and you're not just shifting your weight, you are, but you're using the hamstring to bring that heel to your butt. So I'm going to show you from the side, so here, okay, and then from back, and I'm going to alternate from here, so butt kick. I have a butt kick video, I think it's 10 minutes, I think it's 5 minutes per side, and I show different arm movements to do while doing those butt kicks. So those are 5 different body parts that incorporated a lot of different smaller muscles and of course the very large muscles. So if you have a limited amount of time, you want to work the chest, the thighs, the back of the legs, and the back, and then you'll actually be working the entire body, except maybe the calves. But those are really good exercises to do, and boom, boom, boom. And then another thing is that, you know, clients will say, or people will say, you know, I'm not burning enough calories, I'm doing working out. How often are you working out? If you're working out once a week, it's gonna take you, I think it was like for an hour, I think it would take something like 11 weeks. Yes, 14, if you work out once a week, it's gonna take at least, I think, 14 weeks to lose 1 pound. So you want to be consistent. You want to exercise every day. And Dr. Michael McGregor, he said that everyone should work out about 90 minutes per day. And if you look at the guidelines through different organizations, they do vary, but about an hour to an hour and a half is what a lot of them are saying. And now they've also added 2 to 3 days of weight training. Now, I do weight training 5 days a week. It's a lot, but I want to get all my muscles really strong, and I train my clients and I show them the exercises, so I have to be extra strong. But if you're doing full body training, 3 days a week is ideal. And just don't just stick with those 2 pound weights or 3 pound weights. You got, when it gets easy, you increase the weight, because if you're just throwing up that little 3 pound weight here, it's like, you know, you mess up your tendons, you're just doing this a million times, and you're not gonna get stronger. To get stronger, you're gonna feel it, you're gonna get exhausted, the heart rate's gonna go up. So yeah, you gotta put in the effort. So 3 times a week. So if you are not motivated, hire a trainer. You can go to my website, and I do virtual training and also training in person if you are in San Diego. And you can go to my website, thehigh5diet.com, and that's high like high five, all spelled out, HIGHFIVEDIET.com, and click on schedule, and you can pick whichever appointment that you want, and all the little training virtually. And it's very, very helpful, because if you can't do it on your own, if you need motivation, a coach is excellent. Will keep you accountable and you get results. If you just need videos, I have a lot of exercise videos that come every single week on my YouTube channel. It's Nina's Exercise Videos. And I have everything: weight training, kickboxing, ballet, cardio. I've pretty much everything on there. And I just don't want to forget anything. Let's see. Oh, so when I was training people at the gym, after COVID, I stopped training at the gym. I would see people who would sit on the machine, do their whatever, watch TV. Okay. If you are just doing cardio, like the bike or the elliptical, turn on the TV, turn on music, fine, no problem. Because you're not concentrating. If you're working on strength and you're distracted and you're trying to distract yourself because you hate exercise, you're not going to gain much strength because there is that mind-body connection. If you're telling your muscle to grow and you're flexing and you're really concentrating, that muscle is going to grow. But if you're just kind of like just getting through your 30 minutes, you're wasting your time. I mean, I want people to exercise, I want you to move, but it's such a small period of time that you're focusing on strength. Put every ounce of energy into it. So music is fine. If you're putting music on your TV, just make sure it's not one of those videos that you can watch people moving, because you're gonna get distracted. We're gonna want to watch that. And don't watch the news while you're exercising. And do use your mirror. So some people, they don't like looking at themselves in the mirror. Then just, if you're working legs, just look at your legs in the mirror, just to make sure your knees aren't going in. It's called valgus knees. You're just checking your form. You can also record yourself with your iPhone. I have an iPad. I used to take it to the gym with me and record the exercises, and I would bring my phone and I would record my clients with their permission. I would say, okay, those squats are great. May I record so you can see it? Or I would say, you're not going very low enough, or you're not going low enough. And they would say, I am. And so I would film it and show them, and they would be shocked, or they're doing something wrong. But the perception that we have of how we are doing things is not always how they are. So having visual feedback and seeing what you're doing is extremely helpful. And those are my tips for how to gain the most strength and burn the most calories. So, but when you've hit that wall, which a lot of people do, is one of the mistakes they make is when they are, after workout, they're famished. So they go and binge. They go get ice cream or go to fast food, and they just say, well, I worked out really hard, so I deserve this. Okay, you're now undoing all the hard work you did. Your goal is to burn calories, so you don't want to eat more calories. If anything, if you want to burn more calories and you're overweight, you still need to work out and you need to consume less calories. That's just how it goes. You know, we don't like to hear things that, that are hard, but that's reality. And another fallacy is that some people think that you can lower cholesterol by exercise. It's just not true. That's a pipe dream. So the only way to lower your cholesterol is to eat foods that don't contain cholesterol, or foods that don't raise your cholesterol. So oils contain saturated fats, and foods high in saturated fats will increase cholesterol levels. So I eat a zero cholesterol diet, so my cholesterol level is very low because I don't want heart disease or, type 2 diabetes or, any of those other diseases. So a zero cholesterol diet is a diet where the foods I eat do not contain cholesterol. So I don't eat any animal products. I don't eat eggs, chicken, fish, beef, etc. Which, if people know me, they know that I do not eat those foods. They are very harmful to everyone's health. And then also coconut. Coconut is high in saturated fat, and that will increase your cholesterol level. And if you want to get my favorite recipes, you can check out and order my book, The High Five Diet, and that has all my zero cholesterol foods and recipes. So does anyone have any questions for me right now? I think giving you a lot of information. Any questions? Any
Well,
questions?
Nina, that was wonderful. So much great information and demo. And I love your point about drinking enough water. So I know for myself, I frequently realize that I'm eating, but it's actually I'm thirsty, not hungry. And that's an interesting habit that I would love to break. So if you have any tips on how do we discern between being hungry and thirsty, I'd love to hear some pointers on that.
Oh, yeah, well, one thing is if you're not sure, drink a bunch of water. So this is a 16 ounce glass of water. And if I drink all of this and I wait 5 minutes, if I'm still hungry, then I need to eat. So that's how I determine if I'm hungry. You can also check the toilet. If you go to the bathroom and your urine is a light yellow or clear, you are hydrated. If it is a dark yellow, then you're probably dehydrated, but that can change. So if you are taking B vitamins, then that urine will be dark. But the only B vitamins people need to eat or need to take, for the most part, is B12, and that should not change the color of your urine. And so a lot of vegans have a product called nutritional yeast, which is a healthy kind of Parmesan, and those are usually fortified with many different types of B12 and B6 and B9 vitamins. And so you may think, okay, well, that could be the cause of the dark urine. And we don't want to overdose on any vitamins. So, and then what I found is I fill up a pitcher of water. And when you have your pitcher of water, use a glass pitcher, not plastic. Those plastics will leach into your water and your water will taste terrible. And yeah, just make sure it's glass and not leaded glass. I made the mistake, do I still have it? I have a leaded glass pitcher. I think it's up here. Maybe I got rid of it. But those are beautiful looking. But what happens is those leach lead into your water. Yikes. Okay, so this glass, and then I fill it up, and I know that's about 95 ounces. So I just make sure to drink half of that by 2 p.m. And the next day I just make sure to drink the whole pitcher is empty. So people get, it's more likely for someone to have a heart attack at night or in the morning because they're not drinking enough water and the blood isn't moving. It's like stuck. So I know people don't like to get up to go to the bathroom at night, but being dehydrated or waking up or you feel like you're choking, that's not good either. So it's kind of a balance.
Excellent. Well, thank you for that. Something else that you were saying about working with a coach for accountability, I like that a lot. It's always so much easier to have somebody to be accountable to. And I think what I'm hearing also is it may be pretty important to work with a coach to not get injured. So
oh yeah. And when I got injured, my coach wasn't there that day. And he would have said, oh, that wouldn't happen that much. And I said, you're right. So when I started training and when I wasn't getting results, they say that as much as stupidity is doing the same thing over and over and expecting different results. And having a coach will teach you, he'll watch you or she'll watch you and give you different exercises and figure out what you need to do if they're good. And yeah, it's and even trainers sometimes hire trainers. So I worked with trainers for like many years, and I tried all different ones. I figured out which ones I liked, which ones I didn't like. Some were giving me way too heavy weight and scared me, and I was worried I was going to get injured. and some were just making me do cardio, which I could do on my own. But yeah, and so like as a trainer, I've actually hired expert trainers too. Like if I wanted extra strength or I was having an issue with something, or I wanted them to check my form or give me extra tips. And also having a trainer to work with a trainer, they will spot you. So if I'm doing bench press or even a dumbbell, so these are dumbbells. So if I was at the gym, and pretend I'm at the gym and I'm on my bench, okay? And I was using one time I had, pretend these are 45s, okay? So on 45-pound weights, I need a spotter. So when I was at the gym, I wanted to lift, or maybe it was 40. I wanted to try to lift heavier, but I was scared. And so what I had him do is I had him grab my forearms, squeeze my forearms and just assist me. And then when I got stuck, he would help me. And then I was able to use heavier weight with control without fear of hurting myself. And it's important when you get a spotter, this person knows what they're doing. I've seen spotters where they're not paying attention, the person hurts themselves. So, and some people have certain ways they want to be held. Like a lot of people like the hands behind the triceps when they're doing a dumbbell bench press. I don't like that I don't feel secure. I want to feel their hand squeezing against my forearm. And so when I went to the gym, I would watch other people and see who knew what they were doing, and who looked strong, and who could spot me. So this one guy was big, muscular guy, and not terribly tall. And I said, "Would you spot me?" And he said, "Sure." And he was so nice. And then other people ran up to me when he left, and they said, "Do you know who that was?" And he said, "I don't know. Whatever, Jim or whatever." And they said, "He's a famous football player." I had no idea. I didn't care. Yeah, I just wanted a good spotter. So all the guys were jealous because I got to talk to the football player. Yeah.
So going to the gym can be a lot of fun sometimes, huh?
Yeah, it can be fun, it can be frustrating. Oh my goodness, when I worked there would be almost fights breaking out. People, a lot of these men, they take testosterone and they get all, angry, and they just go, yeah. So we had to, ban people from the gym sometimes. Or some people would hog the equipment, or they would wipe it down, and there's sweat all over there. And other people's sweat can cause ringworm. Like it's MRSA. It's like that stuff's nasty. So we would always require people to clean. We had sprays, clean the equipment after they use it, wipe it down with a towel. And then when I would bring my client over to that machine that's now clean, I would still have them put their clean towel on so their skin was not touching the equipment. And then the other bad thing about gyms is that people come to the gym sick and they're sneezing everywhere and it's all in the air and everyone's exhaling. And with COVID, I was like, ugh, done. But it was, there's lots to like about it. You have so much equipment to choose from. And the music's usually fun. You get to people watch while your heart rate's coming down, and you can make friends, and there's classes. So there's definitely pluses and minuses. I work out in my own gym. And I just keep buying more equipment. Yeah, I've got more you can't see, but yeah, and here too. And there's stuff you can buy, like, that are not expensive that you can use. Like these are TheraBands. A lot of people use these for rehabilitation, and you can do the upper back. These are called pull apart. You can work shoulders. So they have different sizes and colors. The yellow is usually the lightest. And there's bands, so there's all sorts of equipment that you can buy that's very inexpensive. And then of course you can just always use body weight, like push-ups. Crunches are not very effective and they hurt the back. I usually don't do crunches. Any other questions?
Well, I'm all set. I'll
Okay,
give somebody
great.
else a chance to ask questions if you have people on your YouTube channel.
See if there's any questions here. Don't see any right now. So maybe they'll put it in the comments below. And if you do have additional questions, you can write to me and I'll write it down.
Wonderful. Well, Nina, thank you for sharing your wisdom with us, and certainly learned a lot from you today about how to properly do the exercises and to be cautious not to get hurt. So thank you so very much for all your information.
You're very welcome.
All right. Well, we'll see you another time. And as always, it's been so enjoyable having you and talking with you.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you. See you soon. Bye.
Bye.